What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing the timing belt water pump on this here B20. This will be a video that you can reference for the B18 and B20s. But yeah, so just going to go quickly over this process. You're going to pop off the crank pulley bolt, take off the crank pulley, take off the valve cover, take off the timing belt cover, and then you're going to have 5 bolts for the water pump and 1 bolt for the tensioner for the timing belt, and that's pretty much it. You're just going to swap out that timing belt and the water pump, and it shouldn't take you too long, especially if you watch this video. So let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, we're going to pop this valve cover off real quick. So now that we got the valve cover popped off, we should pop off this crank pulley before we get any further. Make sure you don't lose your keeper. That's this little key right here. That's what it looks like. And then we're going to pop off a timing belt cover. And these are going to all be 10s. Alright, so now we have the timing belt exposed. So with that being said, let's pop off this here tensioner. Alright. So now that that's loosened up, this belt should be able to slide right off. There we go. So I just barely loosened this bolt down here, just a little bit, just to be able to slide this out. Alright, so one longer bolt going in the 1 o'clock position there, the other longer bolt going in the 6. So when you're doing your timing belt, what you want to do is crank everything over until it's top dead center. And how you do that is either directly from the cam or down here. Now, since I already took the pulley off, the belt off, me cranking it down here is not going to affect the top here. So you're going to need to get these 2 cam gears lined up. And what you do is, you see they have indicators on them, and they also have these grooves in the side of the cam gear pulley, or the cam gears I mean. And this little groove right here, let's see if we'll stay focused on it, there you go. That little groove needs to line up with that line right there, and also on the opposite end, you see we have the same line right there on the gear. And then we also have it on the cover there. So those are going to match up, and then also in the middle here is another indicator spot. See that line in the middle? And you notice the 2 grooves on the insides of the gears right there. Those need to be lined up as well. And then finally we have the crank pulley side, the crank gear, and that's going to have this line right here, and that needs to meet up with that little arrow indicator on the block. So I'm going to go ahead and get these lined up, and then I will show you how to put on the timing belt really quick. So these pulleys, or these gears are going to, I don't know why I keep calling them pulleys. These gears are going to be a 12mm socket, and since I'm pretty much just kind of snapped that on up, didn't it? Alright, so once you get those situated again, you'll notice that there's these holes in top of the camshafts on these little rocker assemblies or whatever they're called. So what you can do is you can slide something small like a Allen key is what I'm going to use. See how that hole goes all the way down into the shaft? And what that little Allen key is going to do is keep these gears at top dead center. So just slide that on there, slide that on there. That one slides in, but this one needs to be adjusted a little bit. So we will do that until that slides in. There we go. Both those are secure now. And as you can see, these lines line up now. This one's still off a little bit, but I think it'll get corrected when I get the belt on. Too far. And what you want to do is start off at the base down here, wrap around the tensioner, go up and over the water pump gear, and then you start off on the exhaust side, and then you just should be able to slide that on over. There we go. Timing's still perfect, it looks like. Alright, so the next step is going to be properly tensioning this here belt, and I'll show you how to do that by the books. Alright, so to properly tension the belt, you're supposed to have it loosened at first. After you get the belt on, then you tighten this back down. Doesn't have to be to spec or anything, just says to tighten it down. So after you tighten this water pump pulley back up, you're supposed to spin the motor a total of 6 revolutions. So let's slide out these keys that we have in here that will prevent the camshaft from spinning. And let's spin this thing around 6 times. Now that it's been spun around enough times, we check the timing again. Alright, so now let's check the line. It looks like it's pretty much dead on. Let's check these ones. Straight across, and straight across. So now it says to go ahead and loosen this tensioner 1/2 turn, so 180 degrees. So from here all the way around there, 180 degrees. And then it says to rotate the crankshaft counterclockwise until the cam gears are 3 teeth past top dead center. So you can see the top dead center marker right there, and then we got 1 tooth, 2 teeth, and 3 teeth past top dead center. And now all that's left is torquing down this tensioner down to 40 foot-pounds of torque. So all that's left now is just actually going to be throwing everything that we took off back on. There you have it. That is how you do a timing belt on a non-VTEC B18 or B20. Alright, so we got the timing belt and the water pump swapped out and the tensioner for it, and that's where I'm going to end the video for tonight. Next up is going to be doing the oil pan gasket and cleaning up all this, and I'm also going to be buying oil pan studs and replacing all these ones, and that way I'm going to have just fresh hardware all around. There's not going to be any bolts that go into it. It's all going to be studs. I heard that they're just a little better at like sealing oil pans, and yeah, so I think I'm going to do that and then get back to this. Then I also am going to be ordering at the same time the spot weld remover drill bits, and that way I can get started on taking this bracket out and then mocking up the one that came with the Hasport mount kit. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it tonight. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned. A lot more is to come. Peace out.